In this video, I will be reviewing Detective Pikachu. Hello and welcome to Movie Fan Japan. The way these reviews usually work is that I would give you my thoughts before the movie, give you my thoughts after watching the trailer, get myself psyched up a little bit, give you my thoughts after the movie so you can get my initial reaction, and then since initial reactions change, I'm going to give you my thoughts after spending a few days, maybe a few hours, who knows how long that might take, thinking about it. So, let's go ahead and get started. Like I stated earlier, I'm going to be reviewing Detective Pikachu. Here in Japan, it comes out 1 week earlier than everywhere else, so actually, I'm very happy that I get to watch it so early because Japan usually lags with a lot of movies. And so, yeah, it's actually kind of exciting. Feels kind of good, finally, get a movie. And so, Detective Pikachu. It's based off the video game Detective Pikachu, But, there's something special about this. It's a video game movie. And video game movies have been known to have the curse of the video game movies, which is that all video game movies are bad, or moderate to bad. And so, for me, I actually do enjoy some video game movies. I actually did enjoy Mortal Kombat. I'd never watched all video game movies. There's been actually 35 video game movies before this one, so this makes 36. But I enjoyed Mortal Kombat. Street Fighter was fun for me. It was just a fun movie, it's not really a good movie, but it was fun for me, actually. So, you do have that speech from, Van Damme or Guile, and he's like, "Who wants to go home, and who wants to stay with me?" Or go with me, whatever. But pretty much, it was just a fun speech, and then, you have Zangief like, "Quick, change channel." But you know what? That's besides the point. That's another video for another time. Let's go ahead and focus. Detective Pikachu is actually the second Nintendo movie, or movie property, you can say. The first one was Mario Brothers in 1993. That was actually the first video game movie. And yeah, it wasn't that great. As a child, I thought it was okay, but then at the time, I enjoyed everything at that time, so if I thought it was okay during that time, it's probably really bad now. So, yeah. So that's the thought. So Nintendo has to have a lot of faith, waiting 25 plus years to put another movie out, or, be tied to another movie. So, live action, I should be specific about that. So, yeah, so for me, the way I feel about this movie, I feel fairly confident that it will do well. If Nintendo, after 25 years is like, hey, we're going to put out a movie about one of our, one of the things we're tied to, then they must have faith in it, I guess. And so, to me, I actually do have faith in it, so try not to go in with too high of a hopes, my hopes too high. And just, try to enjoy the movie with my family. So, I'll give you my thoughts after watching the trailer to let you know how I feel. Like, getting pumped up after. So, I finished watching the trailer, and I'm actually kind of excited to watch this movie. I know I can't really show it. It feels kind of weird because it's my first time recording with my family here, so I kind of feel weird right now, talking in front of a camera, But, let's put that aside, and, yeah, actually, Ryan Reynolds' voice does sound kind of strange coming out of Pikachu, to be honest. And I am watching this movie in English, so yeah, so I'm actually going to hear Ryan Reynolds' voice and actually understand the whole movie. Like, don't have to worry about certain things. And as far as my Pokemon experience goes, I did watch, some of the cartoon. I play Pokemon Go still. And, yeah, so I do enjoy Pokemon, and I did get Let's Go Eevee. So, yeah, I do enjoy Pokemon. It's not my favorite game, but I do have, a connection with it. So, yeah, I'm gonna sit back, watch the movie. I'm gonna try to focus on, 1, the acting, 2, the CG, 3, how they, put everything together, like the story, the plot, and then cinematography. There's a lot to take in if I'm going to review this movie. Normally, I wouldn't care so much about that stuff, but since I am getting the movie earlier than many people and many reviewers, then I'm going to have to be careful on how I say things and not spoil anything and give you as much detail as I can to inform you before you go into the movie. So I guess, yeah, I'll catch you after the movie. So I just finished watching Detective Pikachu with my family and mainly my 2 boys. And they are 10 and 8 years old. The reason why I'm telling you their age is because this movie was geared a lot more towards them than it was towards adults. So as an adult, during the movie, I was thinking, could I watch this at home and still be okay? If my first viewing was on a DVD, would it be okay? And I would say yes. But after coming out of the theater and talking to my boys, I'm like, okay, well, do you think the movie was okay? Do you think it was good, great, awesome? How do you think? And what do you think about this movie? And they're like, it's awesome! I was like, okay, I'm surprised. I thought the movie was okay. Yeah. Would it say it's the best video game movie? Debatable. There are many video game movies I still haven't seen yet, so I can't say that it's definitive, but then it's not really great. But then again, I just came out of watching Infinity War for the second, not Infinity War, Endgame for the second time, the day before yesterday. So my feelings for movies are probably my expectations are high or something. I don't really know. But what I do know is that the acting was okay by one of the characters. It was like, yeah, that's the type of acting you would do in a children's film. And some of the acting was just good. It was good, it was okay. As far as the story, it was, once again, for a child. And so, yeah, so if you're expecting something out of this movie to move you or make you feel something, don't expect anything like Endgame. If you're expecting the joy from a movie like Shazam, don't expect anything like that. As an adult, if you're a parent, I would say, yeah, go ahead and take your kid to the movies and watch this. They'll enjoy it. But if you're going out by yourself, it's like, I gotta see this Pikachu movie, this Detective Pikachu. You could probably wait until the Blu-ray or DVD or digital or however you decide to watch it. But that's just my initial thoughts. Wasn't really too excited about this movie. Not too excited after watching this movie. So, yeah, thought it was okay. And so I'll just spend probably a day or probably just a day thinking about it and going over other people's reviews who actually saw the movie ahead of time to review it and give you my full thoughts on it. But overall, I thought it was an okay movie. But we'll find out what I think tomorrow. Well, that's for me tomorrow. So, yeah. Okay, so I just finished thinking about the movie, and I'm gonna have to just break it down into a few parts. So, the cinematography, I actually did enjoy it. It looked beautiful. CG looked really good, and so he did bring Pokemon to life, and so it was really good. It was really fun. That part was good. The thing that really bothered me was the story. The story felt very simplistic. It was just very basic, And so I think that's, for me, what got to me the most. Why I didn't enjoy the movie the most. Because the story of the movie was just so simple. Like, there are some things that you could just see happening, and you could actually guess what is going to happen in the future. And it was not only me, it was actually my kids too. They actually could see things happening after I asked them, a few questions after the movie. They're like, oh yeah, I saw this coming, kind of thing. So this story, it wasn't much of a mystery, personally, I don't think. So for a detective story, I don't think it was that great. As a Pokemon story, it was just a movie with Pokemon in it, so I guess that's good. But overall, the story was very underwhelming. It was very simple, and yeah, I think that's what got to me. So if you are not into Pokemon that much, then this probably isn't the movie for you. But if you love Pokemon, you like seeing Pokemon in real life, and you like to have a few laughs along the way, it's pretty good. I would say the reason why I got the PG rating, from my understanding, is because it did have, like, I think 1 or 2 drug jokes, and one joke that only adults can understand, but that joke could easily be missed. So, I would say that's why I got the PG rating. But overall, was it a good movie? Yes. Do you need to watch it in the theaters? If you're a Pokemon fan, yes. If you're not, then you could wait till the, digital copy comes out. That shouldn't be any problem. Or if you prefer to watch it on Blu-ray, that's also up to you. But pretty much, did it break the video game curse? I would say yes, but barely, because of the story. There was another, and then as far as the acting is concerned, Justice Smith, he did a really good job acting. As far as the voice for Pikachu, Ryan Reynolds, at first, you hear it's Ryan Reynolds, but if you get sucked into the story, you just completely forget about it, and then, it actually fits the character. And so, as far as acting is concerned, I think everybody did act their part very well. There was one person I did mention that felt kind of, didn't feel like I didn't enjoy their acting, and then I started thinking about it. It's not the acting, it was the dialogue for that person. The dialogue wasn't really well written. The introduction to that person felt very childish. And this is a kid's movie, and before I went in, I actually didn't hear anything. I just watched the trailer and I was just thinking, this movie is probably for everyone, kind of like a Pixar movie for all ages and up, and I would say this is more for the hardcore Pokemon fans. If you're kind of like a casual fan like I am, probably, yeah, you can, as long as you get immersed into the world, you're fine. But if you focus on the story, I would say you're probably at a loss. So, I would say the acting is good. Cinematography is great. The CG great, so, like, visually it was nice. The story, though, that was, the breaking point. And as far as fan service goes, there is some fan service here and there are many Easter eggs you can find if you're a Pokemon fan. And you can say it is actually connected to, either the anime or, they do mention, other things that go back to those. So, I would say, yeah, if you're a fan, it's a good movie. But it's just that story. If you get over the story concept, then you're fine. If you recognize it's a kid's movie, you're fine. Is it for everyone? I would say it is for everyone, but not everyone's going to have such a high opinion on it. If I actually looked at other reviewers love the world. They love everything, but if they talked about the story, no one had anything real positive to say as far as the story. They said it was okay or generic or, So, if you do watch the movie, I would just say just ignore the story, enjoy the world, and you'll be happy. So, that's my review, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.